Hi and welcome. I'm John and this is Unique Wargaming Terrain. Guys, welcome back. This is the Monday painting video. For everyone that's new, what is all that about? Well, every weekly Wednesday I show you guys a heap of models that I have, in trays behind me, and you guys will vote on what of those models you want me to paint come Monday's painting video. In the event of a more than one model being voted for, then I do a D6 roll off. So that's basically what it is. For all my regulars here, guys, I would love, thank you very much. I'll see you in a second. Right, so the Illuminar was voted on, the Chaos Lord, and the Fire Dragons. There are actually five of these guys, but this is one at the moment. So we're going to do a D6 roll off. 1 to 2 Luminar, 3 to 4 the Chaos Lord, and 5 or 6 the Fire Dragons. 3. So it's going to be the Chaos Lord. Who's missing the backpack? Oh, I'll have to look for that. That's strange. I thought I'd finished him, but okay. So I've looked for his backpack and then glue that in, and then he can get a spray down. So I see you. Once I've given him a spray down with Chaos Black, I'm then going to do some Steel Legion Drab and Dry Brush to grab on his base. And then start. So that's when you'll see him next, is that when he'll be ready to be started to be painted. So see him, guys. Right, so here he is. Now I'm actually using a new light. It's absolutely fantastic. Hopefully that translates pretty good on camera, because this is a good model. Now, I did find the backpack. It was just sitting on a sprue that I forgot to take it off. Now, on my wet palette, I have some Lead Belcher. I have some Screaming Skull, some Retributor Armor, and have some Khorne Red. Now, don't get excited. It's not going to be Khorne, but I've got an idea to what to do with the Khorne Red. So the first thing I'm going to do, or the first thing I need to do, is I need to pick out all of the bits that I'm going to use contrast paint on. So things like the horns, let's give them a quick once down with some Screaming Skull. And some of you are going to say, why didn't I just Zenithal it the first time round? Because not all of the model is going to be contrast paint, only certain little parts of it. So I don't want to Zenithal the whole thing if only bits of it are going to be, done with the contrast paints. So just feel that certain parts of this model, the contrast paints are really going to pop off on it really well. So I'm going to crack on with the rest of those bits, and I'll come back to you then. Right, so as you can see, I've done the cloak. There's a little skull there. I've actually just discovered there's a skull on the hilt of the sword, and the plasma bit on the gun there, on these horns. See actually tentacles on the back of the gun, holding the bolt rifle, the bolt gun there. Now, really surprisingly, this is Chaos Retributor from the 7th edition box game of 40k. There's so much detail on this model. I mean, you can't really, I don't know if you can see it on the chest there, but there's just detail upon detail upon detail. Let me drop in it off my hands. I will be doing stuff on that soon, so that will be popping right off. But for now, I've got some Khorne Red on the brush, and I'm going for all the fur. Some people are going to look at me all confused, like, what the hell are you doing here? But trust me, you'll like the end result. So I'm going to go for all the fur with the Khorne Red. I'll come back to you when that's done. Right, so here we have it. Okay, just some blood red. It's a Khorne Red on him, on his cloak. Now I'm going to go with some Lead Belcher, but because he's Black Legion, I don't need to worry about too much about the armor. Just going to get into the grooves of the arm. just do things like the chainmail hanging off him. Just give that a little dry brush down. I say dry brush down. It's not a real dry brush, it's just a little, that's flickering there, sorry guys. It's just a little to catch the raised areas. And what that does is, it leaves the inside of the chain links looking, you know, hollow and nice. The blade quick once down, so I've got a special purpose for that as well. And I'm going to do the casing of the gun. Okay. Again, this is just a quick once over. Put a little bit of paint on there because I want a little bit of the black to come through. I want to give it like a metallic look. Right, so I did a little dry brush of the silver on his chest, just to not to keep all the bits there, but just to define them a little bit more. Now I've got some Retributor armor. I'm going for the very painstaking task of picking out all of the gold trim that he has, and it's a lot of gold trim, unfortunately. This is a very painstaking task, but at the end of it, the results are fantastic. Obviously, I'm not going to sit here and do the whole lot on camera, so you can sit there for 20 minutes, half an hour, just seeing me pick out all this. I'm going to just go off camera and do the rest of it now. But just to give you an idea, there's a first coat on that leg, and just the trim. I'll go around the whole model and then just go back to certain parts that I think need a little touch up and just do that there. I'll come back to you when I've done the very easy trim. Right, so there we go. Now I am planning on doing the bit on his cloak with the Retributor armor, but for the minute I don't want to, in case of the next colour goes over it. So what I'm doing next now is Skeleton Horde contrast paint. Yeah, that's going to be for the horns on his head. I love this one. I love this colour so much. Aeldari Emerald. Now this is going to be for two things. The bit in the power weapon, this plasma pistol type thing, and for the blade of the sword. Okay, some people are going to be like, what? That's going on there. Then I'm going with my second favourite contrast paint. But actually, I don't know, because Glimmer Flesh is quite nice to me. Bloody hell, there's a bird in here. I heard something flapping around. Oh, there's a bird just flying around. Oh, sorry guys. And of course I'd be recording a bit that I can't stop recording. Oh, dear me. So anyway, Talazar Blue is going to be on the cloak. So I'm going to whack those three colours on. You don't need to see me applying them, because it's just pretty straightforward. Skeleton Horde, Aeldari Emerald on the blade and on the gun, and Talazar Blue across all the Screaming Skull on the cloak. Okay, I'll see you in a second. Now, contrast paint's still wet, as you can see, but you can see it does coming together nicely now. I should have actually just done the gold on there, but on the back of the cloak, but I'll go back and do that. Now with the gun, if you look carefully, you can see the barrel of the gun, just by my thumb, I actually went over the top where I would have put the green and got it on the silver. So what that's going to do is going to start to look like a light effect coming from the gun. Again, with this blade, so much details on that blade. It's absolutely fantastic. It's going to be an amazing dry brush on that. One part that I have missed is just behind there, there's a bit of hair. blocking down. It comes from the top of the hilt of the sword. So you decide what colour I'm going to do that. Maybe a colour that's going to contrast all the other colours around it. Not a contrast paint, but just a colour that will stand out from the rest of the colours behind it. So when you look at the model, because there is such amount of detail, you will look at it and go, oh, I like that, oh, I like that, oh, I like that. And you won't be able to, your eyes will be drawn everywhere on it. So I'm going to leave it to dry now. The horns are looking nice. I'm going to leave it to dry. And then I'll come back, and I think that's, apart from the hair off the hilt of the sword, I think that's pretty much ready for, that's pretty much battle ready. But as you know, you guys know me, I will take it to the next level. But I need to leave that to dry first and decide what colour I'm going to do the hair on the hilt. So see you guys after. Right, so this is actually battle ready now. Look at the way the contrast is dried. That's absolutely fantastic. I say it's not battle ready. I need to do the gold on here, and I need to do a colour along there. Forgot about that. But the horns look fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. The sword looks amazing. The cloak is just absolutely mad. Especially this bit here. I love this bit. That wasn't on purpose. That's just the way the contrast has come out. But now I'm going to get a colour to do that hair, I think. I need to do that hair coming off there. I'm going to get Naggaroth Night. It's a purple colour. So I'm going to grab that. Right, so as you can see, there's a heap more colours been laid out. I actually have, where's this? When is this pink horror, is it? Yeah, Screamer Pink. Okay, which is this one. Emperor's Children, White Scars, and Lothern Blue. But first of all, I'm going to go with some non-oil, and I'm going to really go for, you know, just the gun and some of the metallic bits on the handle, and a few metallic bits like on the back there, and the gun on the back, just to really just break up that silver a little bit. You don't need to see me applying, you know, the non-oil. If you want to know about non-oil shades, check on below, and I'll talk about them on Weekly Wednesday. I'm just going to get that done. Also, I forgot about this bit on the front here. So I've just done that. The back's done. So I'm going to go with the non-oil now. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some Screamer Pink on my brush, okay, and then I'm going to take it off so I can dry brush. Now I'm using the wrong brush for this, but I don't, the area I'm working on is not big enough to use the other brush. And what I'm going to do is dry brush it from side to side on the fur. Now what I want to do is start bringing up a layer of that Screamer Pink on top of the Screamer Pink, is that what it's called? Yeah, Screamer Pink on top of the Khorne Red. Starting to come there. You can see it on the top and the bottom. The bottom's just got Khorne Red, the bottom has the Screamer Pink on it. So that gives that a little bit more of a difference. Right, next I'm going to do the same thing again, but I'm going to use Emperor's Children pink. I'm not going to do it across the whole thing like I did the first time round. I'm going to do little gentle strokes here and there. Emperor's Children is a layer paint, I do believe. So I keep seeing the light flicker on the camera, I do apologise. So as I was saying, Emperor's Children is a layer paint, so as it goes on bright, it will dull itself down. Really see that popping off now. So next I'm going to get some Lothern Blue. Lothern Blue is also a layer paint. The first thing I'm going to do with Lothern Blue is I'm going to edge highlight, not the whole of the edge of the cloak, but just a little bit here and there along the edge, just to bring that right up. Some people say on the most sharpest edges and all that. I don't do that, I just along where I feel it should be. So just doing a little bit there, a little gap and do a little bit there. Camera, yep. Just come along, just do a bit there. Notice I didn't meet that corner. See the little gap I've left along the bottom there. Again, the same, just go along. This is where it gets tricky because the cloak is right close to the base. So I'm going to get as close as I can without messing the base up. Same again along here. What I'm going to do, so I'm going to do the same on this side of the cloak, just because this is more visible on the model. It gives us more of just how amazing this cloak is for a 7th edition sculpt. This cloak is absolutely amazing. Now I'm going to leave that to dry for a minute, then I'm going to do the same thing again in the same area, because it's the layer paint to bring up a little bit more. But actually no, I'll do the same thing again in the same area, but I won't do it as far along. I'll do a little bit less, so it just blends in a little bit more. Now what I'm going to do, I've got some white scars on the brush. I'm going to do the same thing again on top of these sections. I did the second coat of white scars, but I'm going to do the tiniest little bit, just to really just highlight those areas a little bit. Again, white scars is another layer paint, so it will go on bright and dull itself down. And there's a prime example there. It's a little tiny bit I did. It's literally like a dot, just in that little area, just to. Now you don't have to do the white, you can just leave it the way it is because it's just fine. Wandering off camera again. The last thing I'm going to do is do some white scars on my brush. I'm going to press that down a little bit. Give the horns a little flick over. Not enough brush paint on there. Give the tip of the horns just a quick brush over with the white scars. Too much. Now what I'm going to do is I have the white scars. Again, I'm still only putting a little bit on. I'm going to just give it a quick flick over here and there on the fur. I'm not doing it too uniform, just a little flick. I'm also going to do is give these claws a little tidy up on the edge. And the skull's going to get a little touch up of the white scars. And literally at the bottom of this white scars paint in the pot, and it goes. It's a weird paint because it's really blocky and horrible looking. Where's the pot? Let me show you. It goes like that inside the lid. Yeah, it's all horrible and lumpy. See the bits on the side there. But that's apparently, from what I understand, that's what all of the white scars are like. If yours are different, just let me know. Or if you use a Vortex device, let me know. And before someone says to me, "What's a Vortex device?" A Vortex device it's usually a circular little thing. That's a little bit at the top of a little groove, and you literally put your paint on top. You turn it on, and it just vibrates the paint into where it should be, the way it should be. So I'm going to leave that dry for a moment, and come back for the next colour. Right, I've got some Emperor's Pink, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to run that just across the fur there. Doesn't have to be anything too fantastic, just to pick up the hair follicles and stuff like that, just to really break it up away from the sword. It's a difficult part to get into because you can't really see very much. Don't want to overdo it. But it is a layer paint. One other thing I did actually, two other things. First thing was I put some Plague Bearer flesh contrast paint on the two tentacles that are there. The second thing I did, what I did with the La Ferne blue, I just did along here on the ridges. Okay, so you see, just gives a little bit of definition. Just whatever I had left on the brush there, I just flicked here. Alright, and the same in here. So along there and just a little bit there. That's it. It's very simple. I forgot to film that because I was getting so carried away with what I was doing. Leave this dry for a second. Right, and the last thing I'm going to do on this, some Niblet Green, which is, for those of you who don't know, is a dry brush paint. Okay, it looks all sludgy, but it is actually a lot better than it looks. I've got just dry brush. I say dry brush. I want to try and just catch all of the face work on this in the middle here of this blade. I want to catch the edge of it as well, with sort of like an edge highlight. There's an edge highlight, but it's actually dry brush paint, and it's dry brush amount of paint on the brush. So something like that. Okay. There's one amazing sword. Now I'm just going to go over this bit again. Let me show you something as well actually. When I said about the gun, look at the gun. So when I start adding the Niblet Green in now, it's going to make it look like it's illuminated. Then adding the heavier bits on the corner of the gun there. But then I'm just trying to dab. So just a bit too close to light, I think. Again, I'll do on this side. So I'm hitting. So essentially, I'm hitting the top of the gun, the corner piece there, with that part of the brush. But I'm sort of just dragging it like that. So I'm giving the part of the gun that isn't. Yeah, see that? It's very, very simple, very easy. So I'm giving it sort of a light effect, even though it's not. Yeah. Keep doing this side, show you a bit more. This side was a bit better. What I need to do is just the top bit there. Just get a little bit more Niblet Green. Just focus in. Just going to dab it along the middle there. And so we have an amazing looking weapon. But there's one last thing I'm going to do with that gun. Is I'm going to get some white scars and just water it down a little bit on the wet palette, and then just run it just along the top, just a little wet bit along the top there, so because it's watered down, it'll run sort of into the little recesses of the gun barrel itself. But I need to wait for that to dry. But there's another look at that Niblet. It looks like slime, but it's not. It's actually a very nice paint. But let me just leave that to dry. I'll come back to you again. Right, so I was about to start filming the white. I had the white on the brush, and someone came over, so I didn't hit the record button. I just did it because I had the paint on the brush rather than waste it. But that's what I've done. Just a little tiny bit of white, water down into the gun. Now, in between the top part of Niblet Green and the bottom part, there is the Aeldari Emerald Green. Just think that looks so amazing. Just such a simple idea. The sword looks fantastic. I'm really pleased with the cloak, the way that's come out, and the fur. Now I could go over the fur again with some more white scars, but just do a bit more heavier if I wanted to. I'm not going to. I don't see the point. So guys, if you've enjoyed this video, it's helped you in any way, please like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications. And for everyone that's already subscribed and joined the channel, absolutely big thumbs up, guys, because that's absolutely fantastic. You guys don't truly understand how much it means to me, and a massive thank you to everyone that gives me, you know, such positive feedback. You know, it really it's such a big smile on my face. So guys, until next time, hit the buttons for me, and I'll see you later. Take it easy. I'll give you some pretty pictures afterwards, but take it easy, guys.